Okay, we are getting ready to head out and do a little snow plowing. Just have to look at the date. Today is January, right there. Nope, January 7th, 2024. I don't know if the timestamp is right on my camera. It probably is not. So, yeah, some good reading right there. One that I believe in right there. Anyway, let's go. Shop some mess. Got a little Kubota generator for a customer and a friend. A little off topic, but ready to go. Oh, and another little generator and a snowblower. This is my project truck. Hopefully will end up being profitable in the end, I hope. So we're just going to make a quick trip down the road and up the road and neighbor's driveway quickly, just so we can get out this evening, and I'll do the final plow tomorrow. All right. All right, let's see how many messages I have here before I start. Don't have any. It's good. All right. I'm going to set you down for just a second. Okay. Got this little mount here I put on. It's probably going to be a really boring video, but give everybody an idea what things look like. I don't know, hopefully you can hear me. Alright. Headlights. Alright, here we go. I'll tell you, someday I will not be here forever. I can't even tell you how much I hate dealing with snow. And I know we're very lucky up here. I mean, we could be down south dealing with hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever, much more life-threatening stuff. I don't know, I guess I'm just getting older. I'll tell you, every one of these storms, I really, I feel it. And, I don't know. I guess it's pretty to look at from inside if you don't have to go outside and deal with it. But I have to deal with it. I don't have a plow guy, and I'm really lucky. I've got this tractor, and I've got a plow truck. I've got a couple of plow trucks. The tractor really isn't necessary for this, but I don't know. It's a great tool, and it's kind of a toy, I guess, for me too. But I can get so much done with it. It's just such a useful thing. I really do love this machine. It was a lot of money, but I don't know. You can't take it with you, and I enjoy every minute that I'm in it. A lot of it's not even operating it. I don't even care so much about that. It's just honestly, a lot of it's just being able to just get away from everybody. It's quiet in here. I don't typically have a phone ringing, well, for the most part. I always do take my cell phone with me just in case there's an emergency, if I get hurt, or flip the tractor over, who knows, there's no lack of things that can happen. So I always do have a cell phone with me for that reason. But no, it's nice. The older I get, I'm finding the more I really appreciate the quiet time, peaceful time. It means a lot to me to have that. And in my trade, being a mechanic and having a shop and all that, especially living at home, I don't get much of that. Somebody's always wanting something from you, and I can't even go to the store, to the grocery store, to Hannaford or anywhere. Sunday afternoon, if I go there, it's just, I don't know, people just don't respect your time. So I just don't go anymore. If I want something, I go down the road to the convenience store. That's bad enough. Gee, sometimes I'll go in that place and it's nothing to be caught up there with people hitting you with questions and just wanting to chat. It's nothing to be in there half an hour. I've been in there, stuck in there over an hour before, just going in just to get a few simple things. I don't know, it's pretty frustrating, and honestly, I feel like it's a little disrespectful getting hit with car questions on Saturday or Sunday. I mean, once in a while, I don't mind, but I guess it depends who it is. I don't know. I guess that's just part of the deal. That's okay. I just have to try to be patient with that. Oh well, what can you do? I'm sure I'm guilty of doing the same thing to other people. I will say I'm probably a little bit more mindful of it now that I've been put in that situation. I always try to keep this little area plowed out. It's a good place right here, right on the crest of this hill. It's a good place to park sometimes. Or if the hill's really bad and you're lucky enough to make it this far, you can back right in there. Although if you make it up this part, then chances are pretty darn good you'll make it up the other part. So I see my neighbor John just plowed this, so this is a little pointless, but there really isn't that much snow right now anyway. This tractor, I started it, and of course it's a diesel. Anything diesel powered usually will take quite a while to warm up. It's not like a gasoline powered anything. They don't warm up, or the engine doesn't warm up nearly as quickly as a gas powered tractor or a car or anything. So it takes a little while for them to warm up. So I always try to start this and with plenty of time so it can warm up, and I try to not be in a rush. Sometimes, well, honestly, most of the time that's not really how it works, but so this time I started it up, and I didn't realize I didn't have that much fuel. I didn't realize how low I was, I guess. So anyway, I had customers' cars everywhere, and it's like, shoot, well, this sucks. I really should move all of these cars so that if we do end up getting 10, 12 inches or whatever, a decent amount of snow this evening, then it'll just make my life a lot easier tomorrow morning if I get to move today. So was thinking, okay, well, I'll go ahead, I'll do that. My truck plow was not on the truck, on either one. I've got the Dodge, which I don't really use for plowing. I'm trying to not drive it all this winter. I'm trying to keep it off the salty roads. But I do like to have the plow on it, just in case. And I've got another truck, a Chevy, pickup. That's usually what I plow with. When I go down to plow dads or whatever. So I didn't have plows on anything. And, oh, what a pain in the butt. So by the time I got snow plows on both the trucks, I got all the cars moved. This tractor had been sitting idling for, oh man, I'm going to say probably a good solid 2 hours. And, yeah, so by the time I got to the tractor, I was like, okay, it's time to get to the tractor, go out, put the snow plow on it. Holy crap, I got in the tractor, and there's all kinds of dingers going off, and, excuse me, lights and whatnot, low fuel, refuel, like, oh shit. So, I am really, really glad that I made it on time, because tractors, and, well, anything that's diesel powered, they're a much different animal. You really, really don't want to run them out of fuel, because it can be a bit of a process to get that fuel system bled. It's much different than a gasoline powered anything. With those, you simply fill them up full of fuel and hit the key and you're off and running, no big deal. Anyway, so I got really lucky with that. I'll consider that the win for the day. So anyway, I had a little bit of fuel. I had like 5 or 6 gallons or something in a can. So I dumped that in it. And yeah, that's that. No big deal. So I do need to get fuel. I have an off-road fuel tank. It's in the back of my pickup truck. My blue truck, my plow truck. And I usually keep that full, but gosh, it's like 100 some odd gallons. I just hate to fill it right now. The price of fuel, and I guess part of me, I'm just hoping that the price will go down. So I don't know. It's stupid. I should just go down and fill it up and be done with it, but I don't know. I'll hold off on that. So this parking lot, somebody used to live here, and years ago the house burned down, and I'm not sure how it all came about, but what had happened is the Waldo County Humane Society bought this piece of land, which is pretty great. Because a lot of this land surrounds my parcel, which is quite nice. It just means nobody will build on it. Although I sure would like to have a piece of it, but that's not going to happen. But anyway, so I talked to them and made sure it was okay that I keep this plowed out. And of course, it's not a big deal. I keep it plowed out for a couple of reasons. One being is that people can, because there's some walking trails that they put in up here, which whoever did that did not do a very good job, but anyway, that's besides the point. There's walking trails that people use up here, so I figured I'll be a good guy, keep this plowed out, and people can continue to use the trails all year. And that actually straight ahead, that's the trailhead. So most of it really is for selfish reasons, though. The reason why I started plowing it, let's get it backed up here, is because during an ice storm event, which is really not uncommon on the coast of Maine, it gives us a place to park. If it's really bad for some days or a week or whatever, that hill can be pretty treacherous. It can really be really bad. So, and I do have the ability, I have a sander and a sand pile and all that stuff, but sand salt mix is surprisingly expensive. I know, like, if we pay somebody to do it, it's right around a couple $100 every time to sand that road. So I own the road from the tar all the way up, and so I just got a text message here, which that makes no difference anyway. But so, you know, the first couple of years we just paid to have it sanded, which is great, but it is very expensive. So you figure during one ice event, you know, say it lasts a few days, well, you can have that road sanded a handful of times. You know, you sand it, say, the first time, and usually with a weather event like that, what will happen is you'll sand it, and then, you know, a few hours later, if the temperature is above freezing, you're going to be getting a lot of, you know, it could be ice, but it's usually you'll end up getting a certain amount of rain, which just washes away all that sand. So yeah, anyway, you end up doing it more than once. So yeah, during a 2-3 day event, you could easily sand the road 3 or 4 times anyway. So it didn't take long for me to come to the conclusion that I need to do something myself, because I know I can't afford to sand this thing a couple times a day. It's just not practical. So I got really lucky. Actually, a guy that used to work for me had a connection with a company up in Bangor that just deals with heavy trucking type equipment. And so he used to work there, and anyway, he called them up to see if they had any used sanders, you know, like the kind that would go in the back of a pickup truck, and sure enough, they had a few used ones kicking around. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So they actually gave one to him, and it needs some work, but that's okay. So he got it for me, which is really nice of him to do. He gave it to me, and it needs some work. It need, you know, it needs some bearings, and it need a belt, which that belt was shockingly expensive. That was $300 or $400. But anyway, so anyway, I got the thing all fixed up, working really good, and then I welded. It's called the skid steer quick attach plate on, and interesting, keeping it simple, it's basically just a setup so it hooks to the front of my tractor, you know, quickly. You just pull 2 levers and drive into it, just like I would the snow plow. Or if I wanted to put my bucket on, I pull 2 levers and back out and pull up to my bucket and push the levers down, and off you go. Now you've got a bucket on. So I did that with the sander anyway. So I adapted that and wired the tractor for the snowplow, for the sander, and turn the light on. You can see this is the plow controller here, the sander controller. So yeah, anyway, so that runs to a wiring harness up front, which plugs into the sander, and so I can sand the road in front of me, which is really super cool. That way I can drive down the road, and my tires are always on a sanded surface. So it's, I mean, it's about as safe what you can ask for, really. So now all I have to do is maintain the sander, obviously the tractor, but you know, keep a pile of sand around, sand salt mix, which I will probably in the future I will mix my own. It's a heck of a lot cheaper. And I'm not trying to be cheap, but boy, this stuff is awfully expensive. No, you're not supposed to do what I just did. You're not supposed to plow out into the road, but there isn't much snow here, so yeah, anyway, now I can deal with that, sanding the road, but it's still handy to have this parking lot available. I'm sure the neighbors would just love it if I got out there just as soon as it snowed and plowed and did all that, but I don't do that. I get out there when I want to, and you know, if that's not good enough, then I don't know, they'll have to do it themselves, but I'm usually pretty good about it. I try to be, because I do have customers coming in and out, so try to keep the road pretty good. Now, go back up the hill. I'm still in two-wheel drive. I still haven't shifted into four-wheel drive yet. I think I will now. Probably don't have to, but the tractor's great. It's extremely capable. In this